Hello, everyone, and welcome to the EGFH Season 2 National Semifinals for Overwatch. The teams that are going to be playing in this national tournament are from the Connecticut region, the Caner Tech Panthers and the Notre Dame Green Knights. Meanwhile, from the Alaska region, we have the Palmer Moose Overlords and the Alaska Playmakers. For this semifinal, we have a best of five between the Connecticut State runner-up, Notre Dame Green Knights, and the Alaska State champion, the Alaska Playmakers. I want to start off by thanking Mob Crush for helping us multi-stream this season. My name is Victor Vic Sharpwatney, and for this semifinal, I am joined by Dell.
Hey guys, now to get right into this game, map selection will be pick band format with the map types being as escort for starting off, control point, then assault, hybrid, and escort. And the maps today we will be playing are Route 66 to start off, then we'll be heading into Nepal, Hanamura as well, and Kings Row, and then finally Rialto. And we're gonna get right into the game on Route 66 on a map that I personally very much enjoy. How about you, Vic?
Yeah, we've seen some really cool strategies throughout the seasons of EGFH on this map. It's becoming one of my favorite in the map pool, Dell, just because we've seen some crazy things like the container defense. Or anyone that remembers the Alaska finals, the Playmakers just overtime barrage uh, in this map. We've just seen so many different things. It is interesting to point out, Dell, the Playmakers are starting with Victor in for this series. That was a big boon for them in the state championship. It'll be interesting to see if that carries over to this nationals.
Definitely. Victor was a standout player, but we have to remember the mercy play of Haji, I believe, too, just making some pretty clutch plays. The other person I really want to point out is Lib Memory. You know, this player has been a player that a lot of us have seen play over time. You know, he's been part of the first season of EGF high school and has climbed significantly not only in skill ranking, but I think just as a player himself. So I'm excited to see what he can do this match as well.
And you're talking about some of the OG players on the Green Knights. I mean, Haru's been around for a while. Monk, pretty much on the Zenyatta for a while. And on this first offense for the Green Knights, we'll just kind of have to see what they have. But we're just going to have to wait for another moment as we do have a pause come out.
It looks like Lib Memory choked under pressure and his PC decided to fake a easy boost.
It was all that just praise you were giving him, Dell. But go ahead.
It happens, but we'll get through the series no matter what. It'll be alright.
It will indeed, but just seems like a quick DC. We should be back soon, but until that point, what are we going to look at, Dell? We can see the comps. We have actually some time to talk about this. We should take advantage of it.
Definitely. So with comps on this map, obviously we see variations of goats. Interesting enough on defense, we're not seeing goats. We're seeing a Reinhardt D.Va setup, which is pretty good for holding for a long time if you're playing a defense to kind of just hold that high ground because you have McCree and Zenyatta and typically D.Va kind of controlling the high ground, and then you have Reinhardt and Genji playing the ground. Interesting enough too, we see a very standard goats composition from the attacking team, the Green Knights, which is going to be pretty strong against this defense because you have Monkey to control the high ground, you have D.Va to help that high ground, and you also have a very scary Zarya that can control the low ground as well and keep that carpet.
Yeah, it's kind of really one of the first Ghost comps I've really gotten to see, Dell, in the state playoffs. Really, most of these teams weren't running goats very much, so to see it run, it's a good start from the Green Knights here. We'll have to see if it works. Now, this combo is kind of what we've seen from the Playmakers on the other side pretty much all the way around. It's, the mercy of Haji, it's Victor's McCree, it's Hoof's Zenyatta, and Italy on that Reinhardt as well. This is just standard for them.
Exactly. Well, I think one of the things that we talk about goats and stuff is the Connecticut teams have definitely been more of a meta following team as far as copying the pro meta. We've seen, I believe, in the season 1 finals, almost a perfect copy of meta that led to a victory. But we are going to hop right back into this action on Route 66.
Yeah, and we'll just have to see Lib Memory having to come back from spawn a little bit. May delay a complete aggression here from the Green Knights, but with that setup on top of big girls here for the Playmakers. This is typically what we've seen from defense. Dell, when do they decide to maybe drop for this? Well, it's not going to matter. It's Live Memory is actually going to jump right in, followed up with Dunless there on the D.Va, just jumping through. They are forcing the Playmakers back, allowing the payload to just push around these turns. A Hook's going to try to, or they're just trying to get people that they can. Italy's getting taken very low, just trying to play defense, keep the rest of the team alive, and Live Memory is getting work done in the backline. Still no one going down, but the ultimate coming out of Live Memory there. Spaghetti picks up the first kill onto Italy and trying to push through the rest of the defense. The Playmakers know they have to drop down. The D.Va Bomb is going to come out. It isn't going to get anything as Victor and Hoof get picked off. This should be the fight in favor of the Green Knights as Haji goes down, and it is only Conan left. Down goes the D.Va, and first point in convincing fashion to the Green Knights.
Yeah, what we saw it was some really key aggression from Live Memory. You know, he built the primal building. Was just key there from Live Memory.
Yeah, I agree that as quickly as that primal came out, that's so hard to stop from a defense, Dell. And now the Zarya ult coming through, just keeping the defense locked up there. The ultimate is going to come out of Hoof to really nullify that. It was a great timing there, but Victor getting picked off early on in the fight. Haji's going to go for and get the res, so keeping that Reaper in the fight can matter so much. And as you can see, they're taking down Live Memory, so the res already paying dividends, trying to maybe come in from behind them. Jayza is on that McCree, switched over. Italy has the Earthshatter if it wants to go for it. Does get 2, maybe 3 with that, but the D.Va Bomb in the backline takes out 2 as well. Italy falling to Haru, and the fight turns on a dime in favor of the Green Knights. Victor trying to get some work. There's going to be the Death Blossom, picks up 2, maybe make that 3. Is indeed only Live Memory standing, and the fight double turn, Dell, but it's in favor of the Playmakers.
So something key to point out here is that Reaper has been recently changed to have a lot more lifesteal, which makes him a very viable counter in the form of goats. So what we're seeing from Victor here is just a great usage of all those tanks to feed his health pool. You know, when he's ulting, he has just so much health coming into him, it's almost impossible to kill him without an anti.
Yeah, and there's going to be Haru using that ultimate. It is a couple ults, but it's not enough as 3 go down immediately, including Haji. No res in this fight this time around, and that's going to be disaster for the Playmakers as they are just run over.
And what we saw there is a classic example of why goats is still extremely dominant, and the reason why is just because of ult economy. If you have more ults than that are better useful, or more, you have more ults that are also more useful than your enemies, you're just gonna win fights just on that alone. That solo guy with no defensives just makes it an easy clean.
Yeah, and ult economy still in favor of the Green Knights. They don't have Haru's ult, but the other 3 can still be very useful here as they're trying to push through here. D.Va Bomb is almost up for Conan. This could be a way to turn the fight as Dunless has already had 1 fight turning D.Va Bomb. Spaghetti getting taken pretty low, has to get healed up here. And the fight's just kind of being pushed down this corridor. Victor taking a chunk of his health, and Conan taking pretty low too. Victor's going to be the first one taken out here, and Haji trying to get a resin. The D.Va Bomb's going to come through to keep him there, but not able to get anything. Conan now goes down. Victor is not going to get res as Haji gets taken out right at the end there. Italy's going to fall, and we hear the Rip Tower. It catches Live Memory, but it's only 1 person taken down as Victor is now on to Genji. Knows that the payload is to stop there, but Dell, this is just pushing through.
It is pushing through. You know, we didn't see the cart moving as fast as it should have been, and that's just largely because Monkey's a trance and he got off of it. But the stagger is coming out from the off.
Yeah, the stagger indeed, as you said, it's going to be Hoof trying to run in there with the Zenyatta ultimate just to try and get some stall here, but this was a dominatingly fast offense from the Green Knights to start this series. 3.5 minutes on the clock.
Dominating indeed. You know, one of the key differences we've seen since the last appearance of the Playmakers is the shutdown of Haji. And Haji was always a clutch player, getting reses mid-fight and post-fight, pre-fights, all sorts of reses really. And none of those reses have come through. You know, almost every single one we've seen denied except for that one on Victor. But that's something that when you don't have a defensive ultimate, you're not getting those reses, it's really difficult.
Yeah, and you mentioned the 1 res we saw from Haji on Victor turn the fight for the Playmakers. It's about the only fight they won in that push from the Green Knights, but now their turn to answer, Dell. Overwatch, we talk about a lot. You have to be able to reset so quickly. And what do the playmakers need to pull out here on their offense?
I think the playmakers just need to get their snowball game going. Their snowball is usually what wins up games. One of the things that you see in their game specifically a lot is that the fights never really end. And that usually works in your favor when you have a Mercy. And that's something that's really, really powerful because if the fights never stop and you always have advantage, typically you get the point going. And you have to remember that with a map like a payload map such as Route 66, the fight isn't over, the match isn't over until the clock says 0. So we could see complete overtime pushes. This match is far from over, and the playmakers just need to stick to their game plan and play smart here.
Yeah, and they obviously have 10 seconds here to switch around this comp, but I kind of like what they've gone with so far. Conan switching off of Tank onto the Reaper and switching Victor on to that Roadhog could pay some dividends here against Haru's Ashe and Live Memory's Genji. So they're just going to start this push here, getting Victor immediately onto the payload and start looking for some of those hook chances, maybe trying to pick off Haru. What do you feel about the changes here, Del?
The changes are interesting because they want you to play for ult economy in different ways. So essentially, with Ashe and Genji, you want to play to farm Blade or play to farm Bob to engage, and that's going to be the key factor here on defense if they can get those ultimates before the card gets too far.
Yeah, the ultimates could be key. We see 67% on Haru already getting healed up to full after taking a little bit of damage there. Rivzi on the Ana, and the first hook not quite going to get too much there on Live Memory. Taken low, but not taken out, so the cart is pushing, but Jayza being the first one to be picked off, and Conan goes down as well. That is both the damage dealers from the playmakers defeated, and Haru at that ultimate now. Will we see Bob come out to play? Live Memory has that blade, as well as you said, Idoli's going to fall to Dunless, and that is just the key to back up here for the playmakers.
Definitely to back up indeed. And one of the things you'll notice is that there's not really much aside from a hook that can stop a big Genji blade or Bob. You know, stopping those ultimates are usually reliant on a stun or an ultimate like Lucio, and neither of those are really available on the attacking.
Yeah, and we see Haji with the ultimate already, only person on the playmakers there. Victor is close, but some of the other members just aren't really close at all. Conan's only at 30%. Haru is going to use the ultimate, try and get something, but Haru's gonna be taken out. Bob trying, but Idoli just there with the shield to deny a lot of the damage that can come through. Hoof does fall to Spaghetti in the end, but it's just a 1-for-1 trade so far.
Also, Spaghetti built a lot of grab charge in that fight, which that Bob wasn't the best Bob, but it did allow his team to control a lot of space.
Yeah, space, the name of the game there, I feel like, Del, for sure. 4 ultimates on the side of the playmakers, about to be 4 on the side of the Green Knights as well, though Haru has gone back and switched over to Tracer now, so maybe just trying to get Bob or a quick Haru stop. The Grinding Blade's gonna come in, immediately he's gonna get 2 of them, and Hoof's gonna fall as well to Dunless. Haji goes down, Live Memory, and the wipe comes through cleanly for the Green Knights.
Live Memory just going absolutely huge. I think he had Hoofs pinned down there, just not allowing him to get that beat off, because with Nano Blade it's just an instant kill. So that was a great play there by Live Memory, getting that 5k.
Well, and I believe forced Haji to ult as well, so that Mercy ult not available for them. They do have a few ults, and Live Memory gets hooked. That could be the entrance that the playmakers need to push this down. Haru is trying to be a nuisance, already 68% towards that pulse bomb. 4 ultimates on the side of the playmakers to try and maybe push this through. Only a minute left on the clock already. Victor's gonna fall though to Monk, and Jayza is going to go ahead and pop the ultimate, but to counter Graviton Surge could be all that the Green Knights need, as once again a double pulse bomb there from Haru, as just again, Del, the playmakers fall and the Green Knights stand tall.
The execution from the Green Knights is really impressive, honestly. Every single fight they have very disciplined ult usage, and it's leading to them to winning these fights convincingly.
Well, with only 30 seconds left, this is do or die for the playmakers, but losing Jayza already, yes, they get Spaghetti, but that is not the trade that the playmakers want to make at this point in the map. Live Memory falling, though, could be enough here, as Dunless is forced to charge away. They are on top of the payload. They are getting it moving. Haru is trying to cause havoc in the back. Monk's going to fall to Victor, and now it's pretty much Haru trying to keep the DPS away from the payload as the rest of the Playmakers are pushing it through. Finally, we are into overtime. This is typically when we see the Playmakers buff Dell, and they're pushing towards point one. Finally, Haru's going to get taken down. The Earthshatter is massive from Dunless, and it is a Dragon Blade from Lib Memory to as the cleanup here. Victor's the last one remaining, gonna fall as well. The ult from Conan is not enough. It's down to only Haji trying to. Overtime will tick down, and 3-0 in the first map, Dell.
That was quite the play there. You know, Dunless, I'm very very impressed by the Green Knights and their ult discipline. You know, Dunless was in deep looking for that shatter, and he didn't use it because he knew that his team had no follow up, and then honestly probably just won in that first hold because Lib Memory is getting these big plays, and like, as you'll see here, he's just completely eviscerating the enemy team. And there's nothing you can do about it. And with a shatter too at that last fight, it was just beautiful.
Yeah, and you talk about the ult patience there from the Green Knights. You know overtime is ticking there. The Playmakers are going to have to be grouped up in order to continue the round. So just waiting for that moment from Dunless, and the fact that it coincided with another Lib Memory Dragon Blade is all the more useful to really switch that out. But we are going to take a small break between map 1 and map 2, guys, so stay tuned because we have a switch coming up for the Playmakers. So stay tuned. Green Knights are up 1-0. Hello everyone and welcome back to this national semifinal for EGFH Season 2. If you missed map 1, go back and watch that later because the Green Knights came out firing. The Playmakers have made a change. Hoofed is out, Tilter is in, Dell. Does that change anything as we headed to Nepal?
You know, something that we saw was just a really good discipline on the side of the Green Knights. So that's not going to change more than likely. So hopefully Tilter can add maybe just a little bit more discipline on his team, or maybe even a little bit of playmaking opportunity. You know, something that we saw from the Green Knights especially too was a composition that's typically more meta in the form of floats or ghosts. And that's something that maybe we see from the addition of Tilter, because Tilter is a big man on the tank, and so maybe he'll guide his team with a big tank play or a big tank composition.
Does Tilter coming in maybe give the Playmakers just a chance to reset? Because I mean, Dell, that was a crushing game 1.
Yeah, you know, that's one of those things that can happen where you maybe you didn't get your warm-up stream right, or maybe someone forgot to eat dinner and things just weren't going right, and that happens. That's okay. So hopefully Tilter brings in the mindset of a true champion, and the Playmakers hit a reset, and we get a little bit more of some more even warfare here. But I know that the Playmakers as well as the Knights are both excellent teams, so I'm looking forward to this round starting here on Oasis. My mistake. On Nepal. Yeah, Nepal Sanctum.
I like these comps so far too, Dell. We see Victor on Hanzo really popped off at times on the state championship, and Lib Memory on a Widowmaker. This specific point on Nepal feels very open to both of those snipers.
The double hitscan sniper composition is something that I personally favor a lot, just because hitscan's just that instant burst. And Victor is going to open with the first kill on Lib Memory, though.
And that's huge. We talked about the Lib Memory at times really popped off and helped the team, especially with those Dragon Blades on Genji. Victor now finding the opening to get some momentum maybe could be massive for the Playmakers. It is going to be the Green Knights controlling point here at the beginning, but the Playmakers seem fine to bide their time.
That biding the time they do, and you know the tank line from the Green Knights is just creating so much space that there's no room for the Playmakers to enter here. But Victor is going to get some more frags to get his team.
Yeah, Victor getting behind there onto Monk, taking him down, and Bob not getting anything there from Haru. I think Bob might have died to an environmental kill, so rest in peace, Bob. But it's still Green Knight control, and now Victor getting taken down by Haru. That may just continue dominance of this point here for the Green Knights. Tilter falling as well. Haru putting in work on this Ashe right now. Lib Memory picking up a kill, and this is the Playmakers just walking into a shooting gallery, Dell.
The shooting gallery, indeed. I was just about to point out that this is almost a perfect crossfire. You have a sniper on one side and a sniper on the other, and that makes no room for the enemy team. There is zero room for them to get into this game.
Yeah, we're seeing that as member after member falls from the Playmakers, 50% on the point. And Dell, dude, switches need to happen. We see Italy go to Orisa. Is that the solution?
Orisa is definitely more catered to dealing with tanks, or I'm sorry, snipers, but one of the things that's going to be really difficult to fight back with is a lack of ultimates on the side of the Playmakers.
Yeah, we see Victor at almost that ultimate for the Hanzo. May need to use it. It was such an aggressive push up from the Green Knights, and Victor getting taken down immediately by Live Memory. No ultimate for the Hanzo. The res does come out from Haji, and now Haru going to use Bob, trying to get into the back, just disrupt this Playmaker's push here a little bit. They are smart and just go around the other side. The Hanzo ult is going to get pretty much nothing, though, in response. Conan still has the drop the beat, but you can't drop the beat on against a headshot. As Live Memory Dell coming up huge. These double snipers are putting in work as we're at pretty much overtime.
Overtime indeed. Rifty gonna get a big boop there, but Haru is just in such a dangerous position because he has a bongo on him to give them the damage boost, and just scary positioning on the side. They're denying any room for the Playmakers.
And we saw Victor touch the point just briefly after that switch to Tracer, but not enough. A 100-0.1 for the Green Knights as they're continuing their strong start to this series.
Exactly. You know, one of my favorite arguments in Overwatch is tactics versus strategy, and what we're seeing here is a complete strategic victory for the Green Knights. You know, all the plans that they have set up, whether it's composition or positioning, are just giving their team such an advantage that it doesn't matter how hard Victor or Jayza or anyone really on Playmakers frags. You know, the strategy is just too strong on the form of the Green Knights, and hopefully we see a switch up in the form of a more aggressive comp here with the Genji Soldier, and maybe that'll give the Playmakers the room to get the plays they desperately need.
Well, and strategy, Del, can be all good and well, but without execution, even the best strategic games go to naught. And Live Memory, as really all of the Green Knights, but I have to point out Live Memory has executed just so well this series. We talked about Haji's reses being really defining in the state championship. I believe I have seen 2 real reses from the Mercy in this entire series.
Exactly, and that's shutting down a key mechanic that your team wins on just leaves you kind of lost words, because that's something that usually lets you win more of the time.
And we're seeing the first duel around this point, and Jayza's the first casualty here. Haru just once again kind of trying to get into the backline on this Tracer and wrecking havoc. Conan Italy are going to fall. Tilter getting demech. The point ticks over to the Green Knights. And Del, this is just deja vu at this point.
Yeah, we're just seeing, like as you pointed out, crystal clear execution. You know, whether it's Live Memory, whether it's Haru, the frags are just coming out big with a double pull spawn there and spawn. Haru really sticking it to the man.
Haru indeed, that is, I was even realizing that Tracer had the pulse bomb, and to use it that lethally at the start, 25% only, but it's feeling like the tick is just a matter of time from the Green Knights as they're pushing through. The Playmakers have to wait for members right now, Del, because they cannot push forward.
They cannot push forward, and Haru is just not giving them any ounce of respect. You know, playing in the spawn, giving them the wave, making lots of space for his team, and just buying so much time, because you have to remember we're halfway to a victory here in the form of a map.
Yeah, and Tilter trying to come around from the side. Haji has to pop that Mercy ult already, and Tilter only at 10%, trying to get there. They're finally getting some damage as Rifsy and Haru go down. This might be the key to push in here. Victor has the Dragon Blade, but Live Memory's going to counteract it. It's dueling dragons, and it's a pretty even fight. Victor trying to come out ahead. It is a trade. Monk being taken down. Live Memory coming so close, and the res going to come through from Haji. Finally, a fight won for the Playmakers, and a cap should come through here. Haji does get taken down in the end, but the Playmakers will trade that 79% before it can happen, though.
79%, you know, that was an incredible push there. And also we're going to see Live Memory swap onto Reaper, which is going to be big. And we have to pay attention to Gunless. Has the Earth Shatter as well as Spaghetti's Graviton online. And there's not really any form of defense for Playmakers as we get that big grab on.
Yeah, the grab comes through and the members fall. Dunless didn't even use the Earth Shatter. You were talking about that patience, Del, and there it is again. They know they only need that Graviton.
And that Graviton is going to put them at match and map point. Sorry, map point, not match point. And 15 seconds left. Not much room for the Playmakers, but we'll see if Jayza can show it big with the soul.
Yeah, Jayza and Italy may be the last hopes here with ult economy. Victor is close, but at 62%, they have to get on to the point. They're just going to dive forward to get there. They are on top of it now. They're trying to get in, but Jayza is taken down before you can use the ultimate. Italy's trying to. Monk has been taken down, but Dunless with the Earthshatter knocks down two. It is enough as Haji gets taken down by the pulse bomb. A picture-perfect target from Haru, as now Conan and Tilter are going to fall. The ultimate from Rivsy just for good measure as Victor gets taken down by the Death Blossom. Overtime ticks down, and now, Dell, the Green Knights are on match point.
You know, this is Heniden and Hanamura, which is a little bit different than what we've seen here, but the utter dominance of the Green Knights is just amazing to see. As we're going to see Dunless pick up the play of the game here with that bigger.
Yeah, and it was really not even the Earthshatter, it was just the getting in there during the Graviton Surge. That is the patience you were talking about, Dell. That may not look like play of the game, but that is so huge because that Earthshatter in the final fight still did work.
Exactly. You know, one of the things that we're seeing, you know, in these cards here especially is a lot of kills, or sorry, a low quantity of kills, but high participation. And what that means, in the form of statistics, is that everyone that's on the side of the Green Knights is on the same targets, and that's making it so that every time there's someone out of position or someone to be capitalized on, they get that kill, and that's just leading them to have such an advantage that when it comes to fights, they can afford to just sit and spawn and blow all the time away, just with that amazing coordination and target focus.
You you know we've talked about for this series now a couple of times, Dell. We're pushing through on to Hanamura next. It's match point to the Green Knights. This is a place that the Playmakers haven't really found themselves in much during their state season. How do you react at this point and start the comeback?
You know, this is a rough play. You know, I think that one of the things we're suffering from on the way to the Playmakers is just not having a strong understanding of meta and being pushed out of their comfort zone. Because, you know, like we mentioned in their state series, they've been very comfortable for the most part. You know, they're never really in a position like this. And so hopefully they can have that mental reset and then head into this game with more of a strong game plan. And, you know, maybe we see a little bit more usage of defensive ult support heroes, you know, something that could just deny a Graviton completely, like a Transcendence, or even a beat drop from Lucio, just to add more tools to shutting down the plays that we see from the Green Knights. Because in essence, the Playmakers are having their own script flipped against them, and I think they're just caught in a position that's completely unfamiliar to them.
Yeah, unfamiliarity is something, as you've said, the Playmakers haven't been have to deal with for much of this season, and the Green Knights have done a great job of executing on that plan. Hanamura can really turn the tide of matches, though, as we've seen before, Dell. These assault maps can sometimes go in crazy ways, and this feels like maybe the Playmakers' chance. They are on offense first. They have the chance to set the bar, set the tone for this match. That could be key.
That could be key indeed, and what we're seeing in the form of composition is also a big change from what we saw before. If we see this kind of comp rolling out, it's essentially a double main tank with an added Zarya. It's going to be very brutal for the enemy team because when you see these 3-3 comps, they have so much utility in the form of healing or speed amping or reses that they can be very difficult to deal with. This is something that I hopefully will give the Playmakers room into the series. We are going to see Rifty go for a very aggressive nade, and hopefully he won't get caught out here.
Yeah, Rifty gonna try for it. Gets Victor only, and Haru's Torb Tower gonna let them know if they try and maybe go high ground, but the Playmakers just running right into the middle here, trying to get there. Tilter and Victor already getting taken to near half health, though. They have to jump in to try and get rid of that tower. It does go get taken down, but this is just holding right now at the entrance here, and the sleep's gonna come through. Dunless gonna take a little bit of damage, but not a whole lot here, and the posturing's just continuing around this, Dell. No real commitment from either side.
No real commitment, but you are going to see a lot of all charge being built. You know, we do have beat drops and resurrects and molten cores on the rise, so those are going to be the game determining fights of who gets these opening kills.
Yeah, and Victor already at that Graviton is going to take down the tower, maybe try and push through here as 4 ultimates have already been charged. Hachi's just going to pop in, they're going to go for it. There's the Graviton Surge jumping in. It's every member getting caught out, but a beautiful ultimate from Monk keeping them all healthy as Victor is the first casualty. Jayza goes down. It's a 2-man Earthshatter there from Italy, but it's not going to be enough. No follow-up as Italy's going to fall. Tilter popped the ultimate as well. Dunless and Spaghetti still holding those tank ultimates here on the side of the Green Knights. 3, if maybe not 4 ultimates used by the Playmakers for no progress.
No progress, dude. You have to remember that we have tank ults in the form of Dunless's Earthshatter and Spaghetti's Graviton, followed by Live Memory's High Noon, which are going to be very lethal.
Live Memory doesn't even need that High Noon to be lethal. Dell, as Victor gets taken down quickly. As you said, 3 ultimates now charged. Rivsy's going to get taken low, but Live Memory's going to look to use the ultimate. Does cancel it, I believe, and gets Italy, so charging that back up. But now they're just pushing forward. Graviton Surge goes down. Haji's going to be the first one to get killed. Conan is going to try and drop the beat to keep the team alive. Does not help him, though. Both supports down means the Playmakers have to retreat yet again.
Retreat there indeed, and this 3-3 composition isn't going to find all the room that they wanted, but you're going to see, again, ultimates in the form of Dunless's Earthshatter and Monk's Beat, as well as Haru with the Molten Core that are just going to be waiting in the abs here.
And there's the Molten Core. They're going to go in, maybe trying to look for something here. Dunless is still kind of hanging around the back, looking for that Earthshatter target if it's available. Live Memory picks off another one as Tilter goes down. Conan and Jayza take a lot of damage there, but it's 4 ultimates. The High Noon is going to come out from Live Memory, not able to find anything yet again. Haji and Victor with return ultimates. Live Memory is going to get taken down by Italy. A good pick off there.
Dunless is hiding. Get straight. Dunless is about to go huge.
And Dunless is going to look for the Earthshatter from Italy. Doesn't get anything as Dunless at the flank that you found, Dell, gets most of the members of the Playmakers down. They're still fighting, but with Victor down, Haji going for the res is going to be able to get it. Is it going to be enough? The turret is taken out. The charge comes through. The Graviton gets 5 members. Make that all 6, I believe, as they are still trying to get... It's a good ult from Conan to disrupt it. Spaghetti's going to get taken down, and Victor with the counter Graviton gets 3 members. The Molten Core is huge, though, from Haru as 3 members of the Playmakers go down. Rivsy's going to get taken out. This fight is so extended and so all over the place. Multiple members are dying. Live Memory switched over to the Doomfist here to get back into this, and it looks like, Dell, we have a moment to breathe, but with 20 seconds, the Playmakers don't have long.
A trophy has been collected in the form of Haru using the hammer to take down Haji there. And that is going to lead a staggered fight here with a lot of ultimates in the way they attack. We do have Tilter's big Primal Rage coming up, as well as a Shatter from...
Yeah, and they're going to go in and use it. There is the Primal Rage from Tilter. Conan is the first casualty, though. Italy gets taken down as well. Haru with 2 kills already in this fight. Tilter's trying to get in. Haji trying to get the res. Is going to be able to res up Italy. Jayza falls as well, though, as members of the Playmakers are worse for wear. Haru is going to finally get taken down, as will Rivsy, and Italy falls to Live Memory. Live Memory is still alive and in there. Dunless with a 2-man Earthshatter again, taking down Victor, taking down Haji. Overtime ticks down, and another full hold for the Green Knights.
That was quite something that we saw. That defense was far from what we see normally, but it was very fun to watch.
And just once again, Dell, I feel like the name of the game is patience from the Green Knights. I mean, you said it yourself. Dunless was backline Reinhardt. How many times have we seen a super secret agent Reinhardt looking for an Earthshatter?
Not too many. We're just seeing incredible discipline and also just kind of a control of the game. It's kind of like they're just controlling the flow and the path, and they're not letting anyone else take care of it. One of the things that has been just especially fun to watch is how these how they combine their ultimates, whether it be Earthshatter and Torbolt, or we've seen Gravitons. It's truly beautiful to watch, and this is how Overwatch can be used as an advantage. Once you get that advantage of ultimates, and you just take it, and you run with it, and you never let it go, and it just makes it so difficult for teams to get inside or get back into the gameplay, just because ultimates are so powerful in the game of Overwatch.
And now, Dell, the cards are all on the table. This has the possibility to be the final attack of this series. The Green Knights have been dominant so far, and they only need just the little bit on attack, that full hold doing wonders for them. Can the Playmakers do it, Dell?
I believe in the Playmakers. We've seen them come back from incredible places before, and so maybe this is the time that they can find to really pull one out of nowhere.
And we see this interesting comp here. Hammond from Rivsy, Haru back on the Tracer, so this is something kind of a new comp that we haven't seen yet this series, but Conan responding with a Moira in terms of new thing. Monk is the first one taken down, actually. Tilter getting that Hanzo off the map, and with Live Memory being the only true kind of support here, that is something that the Playmakers can try and take advantage of, but Tilter was taken down, is rezzed up by Hashi. Rivsy is on point, just trying to cause havoc, trying to push them away, and it's making for a bit of an annoyance, but maybe not a lot happening here. Haru has the pulse bomb, is not going to be able to use it though, as Conan takes him down. Ultimates are charging in favor of the Playmakers, and Riptire's gonna come through. Who does it find? It gets onto Spaghetti, takes him down, and now Dunless is just having to back up. This first attempt, Dell, has failed.
You know, what we saw is a classic East Coast strat here. You know, the Green Knights are just introducing them to the coast, as we see a lot of DPS and not many supports, and this is typically not a meta composition, but they're not going to find the success that they want. But what we are going to see here, hopefully, is some swaps to a more meta composition, as they're just trying to get any advantage as they can find to get back in this game.
Yeah, and they really are trying to find advantages. Rivsy gonna use the ultimate, try and get something. Victor is actually taken down by Monk, and now the ult is the go button for the Green Knights. Live Memory getting in there with his Neon ultimate. Italy is taken down as well. That is 2 members down. Victor is rezzed by Hashi, but Tilter is taken down as well. Jayza falls, only 3 members left. Monk is taken down by Victor, but with that tick coming, they have to get onto the point. They do make it in right towards the end, but it's only Haji. It's getting ever closer, and they will not make it in time. Green Knights in dominating fashion, Dell, 3-0 the Alaska State champs.
They 3-0 the Alaska State champs. The Playmakers are sent home packing, and what a finale that was. And we are going to see Haru pick up a big play of the game here. I bet it's when that Earthshatter and Molten Core got used together.
Yeah, I think we all know where this was right at the end there, 30 seconds. As you said, that combination just so deadly, and this is what they did all series, Dell. This is why they got that 3-0 sweep.
Exactly. You know, discipline, patience, and a whole heck of a lot of teamwork. It's really wonderful to see. You know, I remember the Green Knights from about a year ago, and it's just wonderful to see how much they've improved. And no short to the Playmakers as well. This is a very tough team, and probably the hardest opponent they faced in their Overwatch series here at HEF. But really wonderful gameplay from both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, for the Playmakers, they still had a fantastic season. Nothing wrong with being the Alaska State champs. It just wasn't meant for them at this national tournament. Any parting words of wisdom, Dell, as the Green Knights are moving into the national finals?
You know, the meta is something that is meta for a reason, and we saw a little bit of deviation from it, but a lot largely a stick to it, and that's something that can really set you apart when it comes to just 2 teams that are more raw mechanically skilled. You know, playing to the meta is something that can lead to crushing victories like this, and I just applaud the Green Knights for all of the hard work they've put in to improve their gameplay, and I hope to see the Playmakers again soon.
Absolutely. We all hope to see the Playmakers again soon. But thank you, everyone, for tuning in to this, what ended up being a quick night here for the semifinals of the EGFH Nationals, with the Notre Dame Green Knights knocking out the Alaska Playmakers and making their way to the finals. There will be a match, the finals, on Thursday, 4:15 Alaska time or 7:15 Eastern. You can follow us at official EGF on Twitch and Twitter for all updates and announcements. I'd like to once again thank MobCrush for helping us multi-stream this season, and I am Victor Vic Sharp Watney, and you can find me on Twitter at the Vic Sharp.
And you can check me out at the Loverwatch. And I just want to say thank you again to our sponsors, and also thank you for the players. Thank you for anyone that helps. You know, coaches, parents, everyone involved in these teams. It's great to see this. I love high school Overwatch, and I can't wait to see you next time. See you.
And make sure to tune in Wednesday as well at 4:15 Alaska or 7:15 Eastern, as Rocket League will have its national semis and finals before that Thursday Overwatch clash. So stay tuned for that.